how about a bit of good news for your boy Shannon Sharpe, right? Apparently, the lawsuit, the defamation lawsuit that was filed against Shannon and Ocho, was dismissed. You know what I mean? A bit of good news finally for Shannon. As you guys already know by now, you know what I mean? He was officially let go from ESPN. There were questions in regards to whether or not the sponsorship that he had with Volume was still popping or not, right? A fall from grace, a fall from the space that he was about to reach rarefied air. So what are y'all thoughts in terms of a bit of good news for Uncle Shay Shay?
Too little, too late. First off, no, congratulations, man. Because every penny saved is a penny earned. And right now, if I were you, I'd be counting my pennies. Shoot, I'm counting my pennies now, and I'm not you. So, I feel it for you, bro. Like, I'm happy that there was some release in your life somewhere, because you're taking a lot of L's right now. And so, Shannon, if you're watching, I'm sure you are, because you got a lot of free time and you love us anyway. Listen, man, I can't help but think about the fact, and I got to look at my own life when I look at this, right? You know how many people told Shannon before this went down that maybe he was moving into space that was problematic? I mean, Kat said it on his show. Monique said it on his show. A few people were like, yo, Shannon, dude, you might want to slow down. He's like, I got this. And then there we go. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. It's really interesting that as much as we have these icons who feel like you can earn and grow out of the racial tension in America, I think that's one glass ceiling that we just never seem to break. And I'm sorry that Shannon, as tall and as big as he stood, had to bump his head on it.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. It's interesting. I say kudos and congratulations as well for the defamation lawsuit, because at sometimes you just gotta stop getting slapped in the face. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm glad that this slap was like, oh, nope, we're gonna take that back. Because the rest of the time it's been like bam, bam, bam. And one thing after another, because you know what the society does. They have a tendency to kick you while you down. And so it's like, so I'm glad to see that he got this reprieve. But in regards to the rest of the shenanigans, he brought that shit on himself, because multiple people warned him, young and old, warned him about the way he was moving. And he chose to continue to move that because, he got the OJ syndrome, where it was like, I'm not a Negro. I'm OJ, And so it turns out, no, OJ, in the words of Jay-Z, you still a, and that's what happened with Shannon Sharpe in this particular case. But kudos and congratulations, because damn, he had a whole lot of generational wealth leaving that household to go into another household. So I'm glad he's getting this, because he may not be able to pay pay that $23 million, or supposedly $23 million, if he had to get hit with this another defamation suit. Next thing you know, he would have been in the Poe house, living in an outhouse with no house. So, yay.
I mean, somebody got to shoot Shannon some bail. I feel like y'all be piling on. All right, let's really re-examine what exactly happened here. Homeboy was having race play with some thotty that he met off of OnlyFans. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Shorty was a call girl, allegedly, right? So we can protect ourselves, right, when we talk our talk. Because now in the day and age of being podcasters, you can say something and you can get sued, right? Which is what the lady was doing in regards to the whole defamation lawsuit. It was thrown out because it was probably full of shit, right? I get it. Like, everybody wants to sue now for a payday. And some people get it. Now, I want to shoot Shannon some bail because I get it. He made a mistake, maybe. Well, what was his mistake exactly? If he felt like he had an understanding with another adult who was involving themselves in whatever they were involving themselves in, and sure, he got played, but was it worth $100 million? Was it worth like whatever? No. I mean, there's a part of me as a black man that, fuck it, I got to say, you know what? This is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At some point, which is why the defamation lawsuit got thrown out. But also, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, yeah, he got set up. I mean, a lot of people are not as sophisticated as we may want them to be. Some of us do get got. Like, y'all act like y'all have never been hustled or nobody's ever scammed you out of something. I'm freely able to admit that somebody has scammed me before. Was it because I was slow and green and country? Not necessarily. Maybe they caught me in a vulnerable moment, but it doesn't escape the fact that there are people out there who are going to take advantage of you. So I get it. You got to learn your lesson. It's an expensive lesson to learn, right? But with the defamation lawsuit, though, people can just file lawsuits and just besmirch your name, even if you didn't do anything. That's what also gets lost here, too. Shorty says, hey, we had a tumultuous consensual relationship, but that's not what you were claiming before this happened, which essentially ruined his reputation to a certain extent, especially with companies like ESPN and Disney. So it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, he made a mistake 1,000%. Hopefully he learns from it. But now I want to root for him. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he finds a way to not only make it back to where he was, but even further than that. I mean, he's talented enough, but just fucking and slapping some cheeks of a little white bitch off of fucking OnlyFans with the nigga named Busby as your lawyer should not equal a $23 million payday. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are, unless the nigga really did that shit. And I don't think anybody really believes that he did that shit. So I hear y'all. It's cool to pile on the nigga, but I'm gonna shoot him a little bit of bail. You know what I mean? At this point, he's already paid his debt to society. So now he should be allowed to make a living and move the fuck on, especially if his living is talking his talk. You know what I'm saying? Jay, you have something else on that? Anybody else?
No, I mean, I thought I was shooting him bail, giving him all grace. He made some mistakes, some errors in judgment anybody could make. I was trying to illuminate a larger lesson for us black men in areas of influence and power. I think about other prominent black men who got situations with white women that looked like they were consensual on the front end, and on the back end, if she doesn't say exactly how it needs to sound, it comes back and it ruins them. And I just hope that a lot of black men are looking at that pattern, because one of the signs of intelligence is being able to recognize patterns.